Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Now, let's get to the show.
What it do?
What it do, baby?
Live for the first time ever. If you guys watched last week's episode, you know my Garmin said that my stress was off the charts.
What is it at right now?
We're reaching those levels right now at this first ever live show.
You've never done live before. How are you feeling right now?
It feels the same as normal because it all looks the same, except for I guess there's a little 23 up at the top. Looks like we got now 24. The numbers are climbing. 25.
Dude,
this is taking off. For those just tuning in, episode 107's live. It's Kenny and I. TJ is playing Santa Claus this week, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, OG of the listen, this guy, you've never met King Meeks. Let me tell you about King Meeks.
I've never met the King.
King Meeks is one of the most loyal family members of Bluff City Media. He's in every single live stream, every show we do. He watches, he comments, he has fun with us. King Meeks made an announcement in the Grizz 901 post-game show the other day. He got accepted into the MBA at Union University program, the MBA program at Union University, starting in January.
Okay,
I think. King Meeks.
Kenny, I thought you said accepted into the NBA.
NBA, yeah.
You're saying M.
Okay. Yes.
I was
NBA.
getting an N in there. NBA. Yeah. I was like,
NBA.
damn, Kings Meeks is
He's the guy.
That's real stuff right there.
He's real.
I do. Happy holidays, King. Thanks for tuning in. I want to let everybody know out there, if you've watched Tigers Untapped, this is the first and only time I will ever wear something other than Tigers on this broadcast. This is the Christmas edition of the show. Yep. I am, in fact, not a Blackhawks fan. I've only ever watched one hockey game in my entire life. This is a Clark W. Griswold Ridge.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You unplugged your stuff, man. Did you mute yourself? He unplugged. See, this is why we don't go live with Trey, because he does ridiculous things like this. Like, what y'all have to understand, if y'all watch the Tigers Untapped show, like, this is a normal occurrence. Still can't hear you, brother. Chris Girl 179. There you are.
It still would have happened.
It still would have happened.
And you don't edit the show anymore, so it would have been in there. Everybody would have still seen it. We are up to 57. This is like when I tried to stream NCAA football during COVID.
Did you try to do that?
Yeah, I did. All right, let's get on with it. We're not TJ's not here. I think I'm a couple beers behind, but I don't know which ones I'm behind. So we're going with a little Lasley holiday nog this evening. Kenny's got, I don't know, maybe
I have a Kirkland sparkling
water.
Sparkling water.
Ryan Silverfield would not be a fan of that.
This tastes like Kool-Aid, but it's got zero sugar.
Ooh,
it's kiwi strawberry.
Yeah, you're gonna get a can review from this?
Well, you better rate it well, because that's Natalie's can. So
that is. Why are you talking about Natalie's cans?
My bad. Right. Apologize.
Do we need to jump into it? 107's live. TJ isn't here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's emotional season. Let's get emotional.
Can I just say this? I have something I want to show everybody. Trey is one of my good friends. Like, I consider Trey a friend, right?
Oh, Kenny.
And Trey will randomly,
this is kind of emotional we were getting tonight.
Trey will randomly text me things. He talks so much shit to me every single week, and he's been mad at me now for about 2 weeks, because 2 weeks ago on Tigers Untapped, I said something that really made him mad, and I want to play it real quick just to kind of keep everybody up. Why we're calling it an emotional season. All right, here we go. Is it an emotionally immature response to consistently go from this team is great to all of a sudden fire Penny? This is last year. This is his history. This is his tenure. To me, it just feels emotionally immature. Am I wrong on that?
You've got to take everything into account, right? This isn't like a one-off. This is something that continuously happens every year, and people are getting a little bit of PTSD from it, right?
We have a decent sample size at Penny for 7 years of dropping a game that you have no business losing. they just can't get out of their way. Like, why can't we ever seem to get out of our own way?
Critique the game. The game was terrible. The overreaction to the status of the program and the quality of Penny Hardaway or as a head coach. It's that overreaction that I just go, we have got to be more emotionally mature about how we handle these things.
I've had some self-reflection.
Yes.
Since that moment.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna overreact this week, even though we got our asses kicked on our home floor again for the second time in a row.
Kicked, like smashed.
After you begged people to hashtag pack the form. But it's not the end of the world. It's one game. We're not going to let one game define us, just like they said in the locker room after the ball game.
Yep. Yeah.
How much did that suck, though?
Oh my God, dude, being there sucked.
There was not a part of that outside of the opening 3 to take a 3-0 lead. Not another minute of that game was any fun whatsoever.
What was it? They were up 3-0, and I think that was it, right? Like they didn't lead the rest of the game.
And then it got, I'm pretty sure it was tied 3-3, and then it was never closer than.
And then I think Mississippi State went on a
ending
29
score again.
Can I just tell you, dude? Like, it is two home games in a row. 2 home games in a row. The opposing team's fans have done their stupid chant
I'll be hand up. I wasn't at the Arkansas State game. 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon is tough for me and the fam. I was there Saturday. Man, the maroon white chant
is the dumbest.
It is. And shout out to your maroon hoodie tonight. I don't know if you lost a bet. I don't know why you got that on.
It's more purple. It's more purple than maroon.
That maroon white chant they need something else. They got to figure something else out.
Yeah, that was rough.
It doesn't get the juices flowing,
No.
Yeah, that game was awful. What was the final?
79-66.
I mean, we shot piss poor. We turned the ball over left and right. And they didn't even feel forced. I don't know how you felt about it. Watching it, at times it felt like we were just throwing to spots on the floor and like expecting somebody to be there without ever actually looking. And it was just straight to a Mississippi State dude.
Yeah, no, it definitely did.
Half of I think we had 18 total turnovers. We had 18 turnovers and we made 18 shots from the floor. How do you have as many made shots as you have turnovers? That's actually kind of impressive, to be honest.
Is that a record? Have they done that before?
Oh, we made 19. We had one more field goal made than we had turnovers. I had that wrong, so apologies there. I don't know. And Mississippi State was lights out from 3 in the first half. It just all around, it was terrible. I think what in the first half they were like 9 of 16. You held them to 1 of 11 in the second half, but you also shot 16 more free throws. I don't know. You just got killed on the boards. I feel like in the 3 games we've lost, it's kind of the same thing. It's turnovers. We've shot obviously poor. And it feels like the other teams in those 3 losses are the aggressor. They're the ones bullying. We're coming out not soft, I guess. I think I saw quotes that State was calling our players soft. But it feels like you look at UConn, Michigan State, some of those other games, I feel like you were the tougher team. Missouri, even in the second half. And then the 3 that you've lost to Auburn, who's maybe the best college basketball team that's ever been put together to date. I mean, they're beating everybody by 20 that they play. They just beat Purdue by 20 this weekend.
Without Janai Broom, right? Without Janai Broom.
I'm pretty sure he played.
Wasn't he hurt during the middle of that game? Or did he
He got hurt? I think he got hurt the game before, and they didn't know if he was going to be available. But I think he played.
Let me check
Let me ask you this, Kenny. I heard there's been some speculation floating around. I know Tyrese came out and said it felt like they wanted it more. I've seen, I think it was Giannato actually, he's not even affiliated with the city anymore, but he's still got his eye on pulse on the city. He said it looked like the team was tired.
Yeah.
You think that's an accurate description of what was happening on Saturday? The team just got tired. They've been playing on the road so much. It's Christmas break. They got done with exams. You flew to Clemson. You flew home. You flew to Virginia. You flew home.
Yeah.
Did Boys for Tots on Thursday. think they're just getting run down by the schedule, the out of conference slate that's been so tough?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think that's a. I saw a lot of people saying don't make excuses. I don't know if that's necessarily an excuse. Maybe just a reality of the situation that they were in at that moment, right? Like,
Yeah,
Mississippi State, like we when we talked about this numerous times in other podcasts and that about what this team could do. Mississippi State's the game that really kind of made me nervous about that 4-game stretch, right? Like we've talked about this big stretch of run for the Tigers, and I said, man, maybe 3-1, maybe whatever, 2-2, 3-1 in these 4 games. It was Mississippi State that was the one that concerned me, the one that that I was like, man, what's going on here? This team's good. Like Mississippi State's a tough team. Like they're a really difficult team to play against. And I do think that they got caught into a buzzsaw that game, right? You got caught into a kind of like the same situation with Auburn, where 3 games in 3 days against a deep team that just out physicaled you. And I think that there was a level of fatigue from the travel back and forth across the country, back and forth. And Mississippi State, I mean, even Coach Jan said this. He was like, man, we hadn't played in a while, right? We had extra days to prepare for Memphis. And
yeah, I saw him say he felt like the extra time to prepare was very beneficial for them. Yeah. I see, Kenny, I don't know how to put these up there, but I see we got a Blake Hossey listener. How many nautical miles has this team flown already this season? I'm not going to do any quick math, but I'll just tell you, we flew out to Vegas, right? Come home, then you fly out to San Fran, then you fly out to Maui, then you're back to Memphis,
right.
Clemson, Virginia. I mean, we're they
traveling
pushing
the country
10,000 miles?
I don't know what's nautical mean.
I think that's like Doesn't that have something to do with the sea?
Is that not so? Like, did they take a boat to like these places?
I think in Maui they did take a boat. Yeah, at one point
they took a boat. Yeah,
between the islands.
Blake said it. They've played in every time zone. It feels like, right? Like they've been everywhere. I mean, I legitimately do. I think that, not to make excuses for the team. I mean, and I don't think Penny was trying to make excuses for them. I think it's a reality of the situation. Those guys were tired, man.
King Meek said, like, an old 86 Cadillac needs to be warmed up. King, I think any car in the winter you should be warming up. I don't know. I've been seeing these TikTok videos where these mechanics say they run their car 5 minutes in the winter before they go anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. But especially an 86 Cadillac car, you got to do that too. Yeah. Blake, hey, thank you, Blake. A nautical mile is a unit of measurement used in air, marine, and space navigation to measure distance. There you go. Dude, I'm telling you, you go live, you realize Tigers Untapped has some very smart fans. Very smart fans.
Very smart. I think Blake Hossey, that sounds like a private school name.
It does. He went to St. George's, maybe?
Yeah, I know Blake very well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. No, yeah, again, back to it, not to make excuses, but it does feel like it's just kind of catching up. And the other part of me is like, that is totally an excuse, and it's unacceptable. There are teams, you talk about, if we're in the Big 12, your entire conference schedule is basically what you just did. It's night after night. You're traveling different play, like 2 times a week. You're playing a tough top 50, top 75 opponent. So like,
right. And you might lose that game.
It does seem like that's what happened, but to the point of that's not really, like, you're playing on CBS as a nationally ranked team. There's a local rival coming into town that wants to beat your ass. Like, you can't get up for that game and get over being tired. I don't know.
It's not a sleepy tired, Trey. And you're an athlete, you know this. It's my legs can't move. Like, I cannot jump.
Playing in quicksand.
You're playing in quicksand. There's a different. It's not a sleep. It's not like they were like yawning on the court and Nick Jourdain taking a nap on the bench. They were tired. Their legs were done. Their legs were gone. Right.
Oh, these comments.
You like the comments, don't you? Drew McCullough.
Who gets more credit, blame for the outcome of the game Saturday? Tigers' laziness, apathy, State's execution, Tigers being tired, or just the Colby
Why?
Rogers.
Why? Let me ask you this.
Can we? I do want
the-
to take a second to talk about the cold streak that Colby is on. It is Jaquan Walden level. I think Kenny, I'm not joking. He's one of his last 19. He's 0 of 12, I think, or 0 of 13 from 3 over the last 2 games.
I
We went from a
reject this
dude
whole
that could not miss against Clemson. Whatever he did, it was going in. To now he threw a pass off the side of the backboard on Saturday that nearly ricocheted back and hit him in the head. And he'd have had to miss time for that.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was clear as I was sitting on the baseline so I could see all that
I'm
was going on.
surprised you didn't almost get hit by that.
Yeah, it was close. He was very clearly, he was mentally gone at that point. I think he was so in the weeds and in the sand. I think he was mentally just kind of
That's the other thing. I don't feel like we've seen this team get to a point where it looks like they quit.
Stop it.
I felt like they
stop. Nope. Stop.
I sensed some quit on Saturday a little bit. You didn't get it. You literally just said that Colby was out of it, and you don't feel like there was some quit out there.
So this is why it's that assertion that's the reason why I reject Drew's poll here, because option A is ridiculous to me, because you're taking being tired, being physically worn down, being your legs in quicksand, and equating that to laziness and apathy. Apathy. What does apathy mean? It means you don't care. You think they didn't care? You think the team didn't care on Saturday?
I don't think he's saying that. I think he was throwing that out there as an option. I think it's a combo. I think State came out. They wanted it more. They executed. They looked like they knew what we were going to do. They were in the right spots defensively, and they came out shooting the ball probably better than they have all year. I mean, you could go look, and there's probably multiple games they didn't make 9 threes in a game, and they had 9 threes in the first half.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dude, thank you, man. 13,100 miles of flying. If that's true, that's crazy.
That's a lot.
You, M Tiger North AL. That's the
especially for and then I think State had only played 1 true road game.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, leading into the game was giving me some confidence that we were about to maybe pull off what had just happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess when you're playing, who did they play before? They played like McNeese, which isn't a rollover, but
I totally, Marty,
Central Michigan, Prairie View A&M. I mean,
I completely agree, Marty. It felt like we played Auburn again against Mississippi State, and it definitely did. And I think the reason you saw that, the reason it felt that way, is because the Tigers. I really do think, and I've said this on Tigers Live. I've said this on a bunch of different shows. The lack of depth is going to be an issue as the Tigers move forward. They're gonna have to figure that out, right? They're gonna have to figure out. They're gonna have to get some productivity from somewhere else outside of the top 6 players. They're gonna have to. Baraka's gonna have to step up. PJ's gonna have to step up. They're gonna have to get some productivity outside of the top 6 guys.
Yeah.
And or you're gonna find games like this where you're traveling back and forth, playing multiple games, traveling like this back and forth in a 13,000 nautical miles throughout the year, and you're going to have these kind of games. Now, is there going to be a Mississippi State or an Auburn type team that they play against in the AAC? Absolutely not.
Maybe not from a talent perspective, but I can guarantee that we're going to get every single team's best effort every night. I mean, how many promos have we already seen for early on in the season where we're a quote unquote t-shirt game?
3 months away, t-shirt game, sell out, Tigers are coming to town. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, depth is definitely a problem. I mean, especially with like Musa and the foul trouble in the front court. And then, I mean, still like I've heard it mentioned a couple of times, but like Tyrese and PJ still really aren't 100%. Like they're still getting held out of practice, and those are your 2 best players. So like if one of them misses a couple of games, like
now
you're talking about you got like really 5 dudes. I mean, I think we've seen flashes of Baraka, but it's also like he kind of can't. He's off. Was it shoulder surgery? It's kind of like that Earl Timberlake thing. Like, you got to kind of learn and get comfortable shooting again. And Penny said it the other day, is like, he felt like the way that he was subbing him into the games kind of drained his confidence. And so he's trying to get him back to playing with confidence again. But I'm also like, he's fresh off surgery, basically. I feel like he came back a little sooner than they were anticipating too. It's like he's still kind of working through getting comfortable. And then we've seen flashes of PJ, like, in what he can bring. I mean, in the overtime against UConn, like, stepped up. What do you have, 9 or 8 points? Him and Colby combined had all 18 or 19 in the overtime period. So, like, they're both capable. You just kind of need to see it a little more consistently, I think, before you really.
You do.
And it's something like front court wise, when we get in foul trouble in the front court, we got nothing to go to.
Yeah, that to me is a massive concern, is the lack of productivity from the front court. It's been.
I mean, that's where, like, we should have just figured out a way to get those damn water cans going.
Man, we need those water cans.
Kept Tyreek here.
Shout out H Bug.
We could have used him. You getting a Travis Hunter 6-pack of those?
They're sold out.
Out there. Are they sold out? Is that true?
No, I don't know.
I don't even know where to buy them. Do we suck again, Kenny? This is where I've seen some growth from myself over the last 2 weeks.
Oh no!
We suck again.
Oh no! We suck again.
I have full confidence we're coming out on Saturday and we're going to beat the hell out of Ole Miss.
Do you have confidence?
Yes, I think a week away from the game. Sometimes when I'm playing my worst golf, if I take a break from the game, I come back and I got to be honest, Blake Hossey has been pushing for Greg Marshall for years.
Blake, didn't Greg Marshall beat up his players?
I think it was just a grab through the driver's seat window, just grabbed him, pulled him in. Back on topic, we're not, I think this team, and I heard Gary talking about this, what Chris Beard was saying about Tyrese and his time coaching him at Texas. Like, you got Tyrese on your team and in this locker room, he's not going to let the season go off the rails.
No.
And based on the comments that he was making and just saying, like, it was inexcusable, like, you're not going to see that again, which I know that Penny kind of said the same thing after we got blown off the floor by Arkansas State. And then it literally happened the very next game. And now we're 3-2 at home. You lose this one, you're 3-3. You've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But I just feel like time away, I think it's probably the best thing for Colby right now. Don't even touch a basketball again until you're back on campus.
That's exactly what was talked about after the game, was just go away for 3 days and don't even touch a basketball.
Go clear your head, drink some holiday nog, stay in shape, get a couple miles in every day.
Yeah.
Don't touch a basketball.
Is there a chance State is just a bad matchup? I mean, I don't know. Potentially. I think they're a bad matchup. I mean, I think they were ranked top 25 prior to, I mean, they've been a good team.
They were better metrically than us on every site if you looked at it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd say they played well on Saturday, and we just did not. I mean, for a majority of the game, we were shooting 25%. I mean, it's going to be difficult to beat anybody when only 2 of your guys are scoring and the rest of the team is, what did Roman say earlier? The rest of our team was 6 of 26 or something. Yeah. And you're turning the ball over left and right and they're unforced. But yeah, you can't come out playing soft. You got to come out throwing the first punch. Like Penny's been saying, you got to go out and be the hunter, not the hunted. And all of conference play, teams are going to be coming after you, trying to hunt you. T-shirt games left and right. It just sucks because I feel like the timing of that performance was so unfortunate.
Yeah.
We mentioned, like, asking the crowd to come out. You got a good crowd. They were in it early. I felt like there was a little bit of an energy in the building. You had a decent showing from State fans. Could have been a really fun afternoon. Even if you lost that game and it came down to, like, the buzzer, like, I think it'd been fine. But just getting run off the floor after you'd just gotten run off the floor by Arkansas State, you spent all that time trying to get people to come down, and now I just feel like it's left I'm not saying I'm going to be there Saturday. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of others, but I guarantee you there's several that have no intention of going to the Ole Miss game now.
I mean, that's fine. I don't stay.
I mean, it isn't. It
stay,
isn't. It's
like stay home.
fine.
Then.
Do whatever. Yeah, do whatever you want to do. It just from an atmosphere perspective, it sucks, right? Because Saturday could have been. These are like your last two. The rest of the season's going to suck. People are not going to go. I mean, there's nobody wants to go to freaking Neon Night against the South Florida Bulls. Kids Day against East Carolina. I'll be there, but there's gonna be 5,000 people in the crowd. So I don't know. I have full confidence that a week away, they're gonna get right. I think we'll win. Mississippi's coming to town. We owe them too.
Oh God, we cannot lose to Mississippi, Ole Miss, man. We just can't.
This does feel like a Matthew Morrell is going to go off kind of game, though.
The whole
Charlie says that's the wrong one. Charlie says is Ole Miss a must win or a can't lose game? I don't think it is must win or can't lose. I think we're fine. If you're referencing like for the tournament, I think it's fine. I've played around on Bart Torvik the last week. I had us losing both Mississippi games and I think losing 5. It was tough. I'm going to be honest. It was difficult to find 5 American Conference games to pick us to lose, but I did it. And I think we were still like the first 7 seed if that even happens.
Yeah. So that like at the beginning of the year, I had 2 goals for this Tigers team. One of them was to win the regular season
Mississippi State, and we failed both of them. So
yeah, my goal was
goals.
Beat the Red Hawks and beat the Bulldogs. That was it.
Who the hell are the Red Hawks? We didn't play Miami of Ohio.
Arkansas State.
Talking about the Red Wolves. Wolf Nation, baby. Ow!
Didn't they used to be the Red Hawks?
No, they used to be the Indians, and that is not PC, so they
can't do that anymore. Sorry, not the Red Hawks, the Red Wolves.
Unless, of course, you're the Blackhawks, then you can still be an Indian tribe and it'd be fine.
Right. But my goals at the beginning of the year was to win the regular season AAC season. And then the second goal was to go into the AAC tournament, not having to win it or get to the finals of the AAC tournament to make the NCAA. Does that make sense?
Not even get to the finals?
To not have to get to the NCAA tournament.
You saying hopefully you meant that in like we refuse to play. Hey, we're going to rest. We're already in. We don't need to risk injury. We're sitting out the American Conference tournament. Exactly. If we don't even make the finals.
What I'm saying is you don't have to. You're securely in the NCAA tournament. And I feel like one of those has been completed already. I do feel like that if the Tigers, with their non-conference schedule, with where they are, with their record, I feel like they are securely in the NCAA tournament. Would you agree with me or disagree?
Yeah, I think today you are very comfortable. If you, like I said, even if you lose 5 American Conference games, you win the conference. If you do not win the conference championship, I think you are still an at-large bid. Given we have, what is our out-of-conference strength of schedule? Like 2 or 4?
Yeah. With 2 or 3 or something. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all that back to the original question. I don't think the Ole Miss game is a must win or can't lose. I do agree with Big Die 76. You can't get blown out on your home floor again. Dude. Which is also weird. We either win by 4 to 8 points or we lose by 13 to 15.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
That's why the metrics freaking hate us. We're tanking in KenPom and
who are we tanking for? Who are we tanking for?
Yeah, I wish. I don't know. Penny been working the handshake line. We're at 43 in KenPom. Right now, Ole Miss, they're actually metrically much worse than Mississippi State. I say much worse. State's up to 18th in KenPom. Ole Miss is 18th. KenPom's got it a 78-76 victory for the Tigs. I don't know. You said State was the one that worried you before this kind of stretch started. I feel like Ole Miss was the one that worried me.
Do you know why it worried me? Because of Cameron Matthews. I really like his game. the dude can't do anything, but he does everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
He
he
does
is
the stuff that others
yeah.
don't, right? And it wasn't even, I don't even feel like it was really him. It was the freaking Riley Kegel kid. Kegels. Oops.
Yeah.
What is this show rated?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The Ole Miss game to me has felt like the one that I feel like they're good.
I think Ole Miss is a better overall team than Mississippi State, but it was just the way, like I've watched a ton of Cameron Matthews and I've watched a ton of Josh Hubbard, and those two guys. And the crazy part is, dude, is you would have thought holding Josh to the left to where they did, I would have said the Tigers would have been in a great shape. I mean, what did they hold him to? They held him to,
I think he had 12.
He had 13 points, 1 assist. He had 5 turnovers in the game. That man had come into the game throughout that year with 3 turnovers total, and he had 5 in that game against Memphis.
Yeah.
I would have told you, I mean, he's 7 points below his scoring average. I was like, man, they got Josh Hubbard held down, but it's Riley Kugel and Cameron Matthews
he averages 9 a game, went for 19 and 4, 2 assists, 3 of 7 from 3.
Cameron Matthews dominated the paint, dominated the inside.
Yeah.
Like just everything that was happening in there was influenced by him. And that was a tough place for our front court. Our front court struggled in that game. Dane had 6 turnovers, bro. 6 turnovers in that game.
I mean, it's been a consistent issue, but some of the interior passing is very questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's a big one Saturday. I do feel better about it. I mean, I'm not going to go down hey, this is going to turn into last year. It's a different group of guys. I think they proved that after the Arkansas State game. Things could have easily gone off the rail. You were playing 2 back-to-back road games and could have easily lost both of those. And they came out and looked like a totally different team. So I think Saturday will be fun. I think we need to hashtag pack the form again and make it a really good atmosphere and get behind the team. I mean, this is I know somebody was putting out there, North Texas is 66 in the net, so it's a pretty decent game in a couple of weeks. But I mean, all intents and purposes, this is the best remaining home game you've got left. So
it is the best remaining home game we've got left.
Need to get a good crowd there on Saturday for the Tigs.
I agree. What'd you think about so Bluff City Media's very own Roman Cleary asked Penny in the post-game press conference, he said, do you kind of regret like the whole pack the forum, like going out and like begging for people to come to the game and then falling flat like that? And Penny's response was, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, I can't remember the exact quote, but he basically said, fans are supposed to show up and support us.
Yeah. I saw that. I didn't realize I didn't see the question to the video, but I saw Penny's response and assumed that somebody had asked something about that. But I mean, he essentially was calling us fair weather, or some fans fair weather in a sense. Like, we win a big game, you show up, we lose to Arkansas State, you're not going to be at the next one, which isn't necessarily true because we lost to Arkansas State and this was the next game and it was the best crowd of the year. But I mean, I agree with him. Like, you should be there to support the team, but I'm not going to fault people for not wanting to go. Like, it's supposed to be fun. It is expensive to go. And I would not blame somebody if they spent several $100s taking their entire family on Saturday, because again, outside of the first 2.5 minutes, there was nothing fun about that game or experience. Yeah. And I wouldn't, if I were a family of 4 that was just like a casual that went, I wouldn't want to drop $500 or $600 again the next week.
And that's why I don't think it's an unfair question to ask, right? Like, is there a level of, I mean, that's why home games are so important, right? Like, I don't think it's an unfair question to ask. Like, do you feel some kind of responsibility to put a good product on the floor when you are actively trying to get fans? And I think you had Tyrese Hunter come out and say, yeah, I actually do feel bad about that. And he was very open and apparent about it and said, yeah, I do. That won't happen again, is what he said.
I have a half Memphis. He grew up in Memphis fan. He went to state. He just texted me. He's obviously watching Mac, and he said he had fun at the game. He's a state graduate. So I'm glad that you had a great time.
Was he? Ask him. Was he the guy that was wearing the Ole Miss or the Mississippi State sweater and the Memphis hat? There was a guy that was wearing a Mississippi State sweater and a Memphis hat.
I saw a lot of actually split.
There was some confusion going on
with
there.
Both teams repped. I saw a. Why did Andy Pennington just follow me?
Yeah, me too. What's up, Andy?
I saw a couple that walked in with a Mississippi shirt on.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I didn't know we had so many state/Memphis fans out there. But no, Mac says he was in full maroon, which does not surprise me. So
okay.
Congratulations, Mac, on winning you guys Super Bowl.
Yeah, like throwing what did Will say? Throwing champagne bottles and playing Glorilla in the locker room afterwards.
Have fun going 6-13 in the SEC. All right. Anything? What? Oh, yeah. What was the last thing you asked about the penny comments? We keep getting off track. This is what I knew this was going to be like this, doing a live show.
You got to get used to being in that rhythm of doing a live show with comments coming in. Yeah, 100%.
Shout out to Grizz Girl. She gets it.
I love it.
Guess they needed a lift after their football season. The forum I'm disappointed in the student section, should have started a let's play football chant. After a 2-10 showing out of the Bulldogs.
It's a rough year. Shout out to BCM Zone and good friend of the program, Rusty Buckets, Mississippi State football fan. Whew. Rough.
Hey, we've been there. I'm not going to go too hard on that.
Yeah.
Know that all too well. We've been in there.
All right, let's take a break real quick. When we come back, we'll talk football, okay?
All right.
We'll take a break.
Do I love that he's playing like this? No, but a good thing about our team that we have a Sunday Dunn, we have a Marcus Smart, we have all these guys that can make up for when one of our star guys isn't playing well. People have to understand, once you come off an injury, you have to get back into a rhythm, and he's just slowly getting back to his rhythm. But he's still playing good defense. He's still doing the little things on the floor. He's still rotating properly. He's still in his position. He's just missing shots.
Take it from me as a person that has back pain. Maybe I don't know what the degree is with this. It's most stuff I can do without too much pain. But if you're talking about oblique, I mean, think about it. That's up here, bro. And he's a shooter. It could be in his head.
Because the type of guy Desmond is, very level-headed, very headstrong, very self-disciplined, he's going to be fine. So
tune into the No Bluffing Podcast with your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes, every Monday at 12 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Nate, are you alive? Nate.
Oh, sorry. It took me a second to find the phone. Dog. I don't understand the NBA. Jesus H, dude. You've got to be able to hold these guys accountable. You consistently see ego stuff. That was an ego throwing John Moran out of the game after a horrible call.
I agree.
It's abysmal, and it affects things. By the way, if your sponsor is freaking FanDuel and you got people gambling on these games left and right, your refs can't suck ass.
Tune in to the Grizz 901 postgame show, live after every Grizzlies game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Dirty. Hey.
We're champs, baby.
Are the champions. We are the champions. Shout out to freaking Bryant's
Frisco
football team.
Yeah, man.
Would you want to get 5 gallons of iced coffee dumped on you?
I would do like this. Someone don't screenshot that, please.
Is that you taking it to the face? What was that?
Yeah, I love iced coffee. I'm not. It's not.
It's making
not,
me miss TJ tonight.
I know
he's a
TJ
big. Well, he's a cold brew guy, but
he's a cold brew guy. I love that. I love
likes that coffee cold.
Yeah, that would have been an enjoyable experience. That's such a waste of good coffee.
It
Scooter's
is 5
coffee
gallons
is
is a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, TJ has good things to say about Scooters.
Yeah.
That game was pretty fun for most of it, I guess, until the point in time where it seemed like West Virginia was going to come back and win.
If that game had been 2 minutes longer, would the Tigers have lost?
2 minutes is a long time.
A minute longer. How's that?
A minute could be long. I don't even know that it needed to be a minute. If it kept at 8 seconds and West Virginia was awarded the fumble that happened at the end of the game, we might have lost, to be honest.
Was that a bad call? Elijah's not with the Tigers anymore. We can talk about
that.
Did
he transfer? But now it either makes sense that he tried to run that back and didn't go down, or he was run out of here for not going down.
If he ends up transferring to West Virginia, I'm gonna have some thoughts about that whole situation.
Why? I mean, I've watched it several times. As soon as he catches it, there's at least 2 other defenders on the field telling him to get down, and he's just straight
just running.
I don't know. Anyway, I mean, that would have been the most Memphis thing to ever happen for him to fumble that ball and then them have 8 seconds left and score off of it and us lose. After we should have they shouldn't have even gotten the ball back at all, because Mario, who I love to death, should have stayed in bounds and we could have run the clock out. But outside of that game was fun.
Yeah,
Seth going out with a dub. Look, I know it's not, and I'm not going to sit here and say what a heck of a season it was, blah, blah, blah. We won the freaking Scooters, Frisco. We were literally the second bowl game played, which I've always felt like the earlier the bowl game, the worse that it is. But it is good. Like 11 wins. First time in school history, back-to-back seasons.
Crazy.
You ended it with a slaughtering of Tulane, and then you should have really run West Virginia off the field too, which is not. I mean, yeah, I get they're 6-6. They fired their coach, but they finished 5-3 in the Big 12. It's not like they were, they beat Cincy and Central Florida. They weren't a terrible ball club, and it's not like they had a bunch of. It wasn't like Iowa State last year where they had a bunch of dudes sitting out or anything. Like their team was there.
Yeah, no, that and both you and TJ talked about it prior. Like mobile quarterbacks give the Tigers trouble every single year. Dude, tell Blake to chill. Tell Blake to chill. That comment
out of here.
Yeah, tell Blake to chill, bro.
Oh man,
we talked about that first segment. Chili Nelson, thank you. Appreciate you.
I know Rothstein calls him a dentist because it's like as painful as going to the dentist. I've never had a problem going to the dentist. I've kind of always enjoyed going. Is that weird? Let's get real off topic. When you're in the chair and you're leaned back and the dentist is in there doing his work and they got the light shine, do you keep your eyes open while they work on your mouth, or do you close your eyes?
Absolutely close my eyes.
Interesting. Okay. I just didn't.
Do you like make eye contact? Like, are you like?
No, I usually, some office they'll have the TV on the ceiling, which is very nice. I wish mine had that. They have theirs on the wall, so I can't see it. I usually just like pick a spot out in the ceiling. But then I asked the dental assistant one time, and she's like, it's like half and half people that close or keep them open.
What do you do? Are you eyes open or eyes closed?
I've always just like kept them open, but after she said that and I thought about it, I was like, I feel like it's weird for me to have my eyes open right here. I started closing them. And then sometimes they've given me sunglasses, I guess, because the light kind of like can get in your eyes, and that one's preferred. That's the best one. But
I close my eyes when I had my vasectomy surgery.
Okay. Okay. No. All right. Moving on. Back to the Frisco Bowl.
Just trying to get us off that conversation.
It was a fun game. Good way to send the seniors out. It does really feel like the end of an era, though, right? Like,
Yo,
we are,
man,
we are replacing a lot,
a lot.
but we
Even
got
more.
our quarterback.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Brendan Lewis, Nevada Wolfpack. I think he was like a fringe 4-star originally. He was Colorado, then went to Nevada. On3's got him as a 3-star, 87.33 rating as a transfer in the portal. But I saw something the other day. I think he was top 5 PFF grade wise.
Yeah.
As a QB, uses his legs well. I think he ran for like 800 yards this past year. And let me pull it up. This live show stuff is more difficult than what I'm used to, Kenny.
Yeah, threw for 2,200 yards. Ran for 775 yards this year.
Yeah.
8
16
touchdowns on the ground.
16 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Pretty decent accuracy wise, 68% completion percentage.
Yeah.
He had some big games. I mean, he threw for at 22 UNLV, threw for 292 and 2 tutties. 16 carries for 30 yards. He rushed for 109 against Colorado State. I mean, pretty decent. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I think he's got a lot of experience. He's played, I think he'll be a 5th year. So
it's the
207 out of Melissa, Texas. We
it's
love
the perfect
those Texas
guy.
QBs.
It's the guy that we were hoping the Tiger, not the specific guy, but it's that the type of quarterback that we were hoping that Ryan would get out of the transfer portal this year to not only help, to help the Tigers make that transition from Seth into this next year, but also get AJ ready, right? Like AJ's the future of the quarterback room for the Tigers. But at the level in which the Tigers play, you don't want to start a freshman quarterback. You just don't.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you did that with Seth. It worked out, but I don't think that would be the plan at all going into next year.
To a degree, right? Like Seth was extremely successful, but Seth was extremely successful.
I just mean it could have been a
but
disaster.
Yes,
and it was not by any means. So yeah, I mean, King Ming's got a point. That's if AJ sticks around, which in this day and age is
you can't, but you just can't worry about that right now. Like there's nothing you can do about that.
I don't think there's
outside of dropping the bag off, which I can guarantee you they will try. They will try.
Yeah. Our boy Charlie says we need to get some wide receivers. Is Brady Cluse our best returning wide receiver? I would say, I mean, he showed flashes for sure. Had that sick catch against UAB. I would say, like, I think there's some guys that got a little bit of run that we didn't see a ton of, like Marcelo Busi.
Yeah, did he end up
Hawkins?
Did he get?
Yeah, he got hurt, which I didn't realize, but I think it was it Mississippi? Middle MTSU game that he got.
I think it was the MTSU game he got hurt. Yeah,
and didn't come back. So I mean, they really started that Navy game earlier in the year. They really tried to go to Bussy a lot, and then he got hurt. So
I really think they're obviously. I think you saw at the end of the year. You think this Tigers team would have been much different if Sutton hadn't gotten hurt in that first game?
Yes, but I also think it would have been, and that's not to say, like, I think there were definitely times where the offense struggled. I think it'd have been a much different team if Dozier had just been healthy too. I mean, him getting hurt after Florida State and missing, how long was he out 6 or 7 games.
He's out for 6.
I mean, he was out into Florida State through UTSA, and he didn't even really play a role until probably, Tulane.
Tulane was his first real game back.
So even like UTSA, Rice, and UAB, he really wasn't contributing a ton. It was Tulane in the bowl game where we got to see him kind of really back to full strength. So even if Sutton going down, if you have Greg the whole year with him and Mario, I think it looks different. But that's all to say, like, you were still winning games when the offense was struggling. The 2 games that you lost, it was you couldn't stop a nosebleed. Navy put up 56, I guess 48 because one of them was a pick six, and then UTSA their tight ends were open across the middle of the field the entire game. So it wasn't really. I mean, I know there were stretches where you were going 6 straight drives and having to punt, but like, I don't know that the offense necessarily was the problem. I feel like this year it was if you had a defense that could get stops when they needed to, it'd have been different.
The thing about the offense, I think, is you saw especially in that Tulane game, and I would say even in the UAB game as well. I don't know if you can necessarily. UAB was just dog water, man. They were just terrible. But the Tulane game especially, you saw what Cramsey and Silverfield were trying. What I feel like you probably would have seen a lot throughout the season, their strategy, their goals for what the offense would look like, and that was to really focus in on Mario Anderson being the bulk grunt guy to pound out yards, and then to stretch the field with their other running back, whether it's DeWosier or Sutton Smith. And so King asks who's going to be the next running back. I'm excited to see what DeWosier and Sutton look like together. That'll be an interesting that'll be an interesting running back tandem, I think. So I cannot wait to see what Sutton Smith does next year.
I think they definitely add somebody, and I wouldn't be shocked if it's somebody that pushes to be the one back, like replace Mario in that sense. But yeah, I mean, I would, with DeWosier and Sutton, I would be totally fine going in with those being 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. King also asked, he said defense was better than last year, though.
Yes, at times.
At times, yeah.
At times it was. But our secondary has been a problem
for a long time.
2013.
Yeah.
And we're going to have basically a brand new secondary next year. Everybody's gone. They either graduated, transferred, we cleared house in the secondary. We're hitting the portal hard. We're offering linebackers and corners and safeties in the portal.
We also got rid of Silverfield. Also is going to have to find a new cornerbacks coach, secondary coach.
Yeah. Charles is gone.
Charles Clark went to where did he go?
Purdue. Barry Odom stole him.
Yeah.
Barry Odom coming in here, still impacting the program, taking our associate head coaches away. Although some would say after the last several years, the way that our secondary looked, that may not be such a bad thing.
Such a bad deal. Yeah.
Get a little new blood in there, new blood in the program. But yeah, right, portal season. We already talked about. We talked about Lewis. We talked about Coffee leaving, DJ Bell leaving, all the secondary leaving. Elijah Herring hit the portal after that absurd interception he tried to return and then nearly cost the game.
Can we get a little TMZ-ish for a second? William Whitlow responded to
He's responded to 2 of them with the same emoji. Facepalm. It was to Elijah and now I can't remember. Was it DJ Bell? Who's the other one?
I don't know. I didn't see the other one. I just saw the Elijah Herring one.
He did it to 2. Come on. What do you think that meant?
I don't know, man. Like I want to say it doesn't mean
that as them getting, or was it Bryce Edmondson? I think it was Bryce, because Bryce Edmondson entered too.
Yeah.
But now he's retweeting all of Bryce's offers. Yeah, he did it. He did 1 facepalm emoji response to Bryce and then 3 for Elijah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was to the staff running them off or it was a response to them making the decision to leave on their own.
I don't think the staff made the decision to let Elijah go. Do you think?
I don't know. Well, again, I mean, probably not. He was an all-conference.
He's an all-conference linebacker.
I think he's going to get a bag somewhere. He's probably trying to jump up a level again. We did kind of, I guess, get his replacement literally like 24 hours later. Yeah. I don't know that I like where he's coming. I don't know that I like where he's coming from. I don't think I want anything to do with anyone from that program. But Everett Roussel Jr., linebacker from UAB, a school down in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Decent. I don't know. He was a 3-star kid out of Ellenwood, Georgia, 6'2", 235. Some are saying they think he's better than Elijah. Again, I don't know. That was a pretty pathetic ball club, so we'll have to see what Everett brings next year. But you got him. You got Javon Mackey.
Then they also got that kid, the center, Austin Gentle,
the
Harvard kid.
Yeah,
really good things about him.
There is a real Memphis to Harvard pipeline going on.
Yep.
Our boy Haas says that Barry's a top 5 coach in all of college football. He really likes what he did with that UNLV program.
Yeah, I like seeing them focus in on defensive line and offensive line, just kind of making that transition, right? Because you're losing Trent Holler, who was one of my favorite players on the team this past year. Snacks, just awesome. So getting some of the big guys up front, are you concerned? Like, do you have any thoughts? I know TJ's kind of the portal guy. He understands. He's kind of tapped in on that kind of stuff. But is anybody else
disrespectful?
He's locked in, bro. You're not. You got to lock in, bro.
I'm not #all the way in.
You're not all in.
Not till we
anybody else you're concerned about? Anybody else you're concerned about losing, and where do you think they're going to try to get? Like, is there anybody else they're trying to get?
I do think, obviously, I think we'll add another running back. You obviously got to get pieces on the defensive line. I would be lying if I said I wasn't worried about getting a kicker. We need a kicker.
They just got one.
I don't know that kid's a starting D1 kicker. He's TikTok famous.
He runs 4.3. He runs a 4.3 40, bro.
Well, TJ, who is our local speed expert, says that that's not accurate. So,
what is it about TJ and speed? Like, when did TJ?
He said 4.3 is slow for a. He said 4.3 is slow for a. What is the kid? A decathlete.
He's a decathlete.
Yeah, he said that's slow for a kicker. And I don't. Have you seen like photos of this young man?
Yes,
he is.
I saw his commitment video. It's wild.
I didn't know that he was TikTok famous, but I
do we have our next? Do we have our next destroying? Have you heard? You know who destroying is, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to be the destroying?
I don't know if he's destroying was legit though.
Yes, he was.
I gotta go look. I don't know how. I haven't seen a whole lot of this. I just saw that he's a content creator, and my kid is jacked out of his mind.
Your kid knows him. Oh,
what?
The kid is jacked. I thought you said your kid. I'm like, how does your daughter?
Guy, he's no.
Doesn't surprise me if your daughter would know who he is. He's a good-looking kid.
She's 3, Kenny.
I know. That's why I was surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. He's on something big. Does not look natural.
Dang.
And if you're listening, I'm sorry. I don't mean that to be ugly. You're larger than you should be. So yeah, kicker. I think Charlie made a good point earlier. We got to get some help on the outside, receivers wise. I want some speed. We need some speed back on this team. I think Sutton and Greg are a good start, but you got to get some speed outside. Maybe
I would suspect that the coaching staff is targeting some transfer portal wide receivers, some veteran guys to come in.
And then obviously the secondary, which we already knew about. It's cleared out. You got to get some help there. Let's get some dudes that can play man coverage every once in a while and then understand how to play zone as well. That would be beneficial.
Well, one dude that we're not going to face palm leaving, like William Whitlow Jr. Did to Elijah Herring, is starting linebacker Chandler Martin, declared for the draft today, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Chandler. Go get your bag, young man.
Go be good, man. Go be great, bro. Like that, I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy for him. He is is this a hot take for me to say he's the best linebacker I've seen in a Memphis uniform? He might not be the best linebacker ever, in Memphis, but he is the best linebacker
So
I've seen.
when did you start watching?
I mean, it's been a long time, but I didn't follow football as much. Like in terms of covering the team,
I mean, maybe JJ Russell was pretty damn good.
that's the only
It's
other
tough.
guy that I could
feel
think
like-
of that would be comparable.
was Bryce technically linebacker here? Or did he really play more edge?
I think he was kind of split back and forth between the two.
I guess he did. He played defensive end, really. Yeah, JJ. Tank, were you around for Tank Jakes?
Yes, but I didn't cover the team.
What do you see Tank Jakes? He was good, but I don't know that he was Chandler good. Yeah, I mean, maybe so. He's been very good. I would be surprised if he doesn't make a roster.
Well, I mean, he clearly got some favorable.
He's gotten some feedback
Go. Yeah. And you got to be happy for the young man. I mean, he's a great kid, great guy, great man, good. One of the best, I think, leaders that I've seen, just the way that he communicates, the way that he talks on the field, to his teammates, to the media. He's just fantastic. And so he's a professional through and through. I think the only thing that people would say against him is the fact that is this something that he can't help, and that's just his size. I mean, he's 230 pounds, which is big.
He's got that dog in him. That's all he needs.
But again, his tackling is so elite that I think that it kind of nullifies the size stuff, right? Like he gets his hands on you, you're going to
his
the ground.
vision, his ability to get sideline to sideline. Like the kid plays football and he plays it well.
TJ was in the Discord comparing him to Luke Kuechly in the Discord today as a player comp, and I'm like, bro, if he could go in and be a Luke Kuechly type player, go like
a Hall of Fame linebacker. Yeah.
Just in terms of size, I think he was talking about his size and his skill set, right?
Yeah.
Like he might not.
What I think TJ said he thinks like 6th or 7th round.
Yeah,
would be a landing spot probably. Which again, shout out to Chandler. Well, and what an absolute find by the staff too. Like to go down to ETSU and find an impact player of that caliber. I mean, the best linebacker in the conference.
Well, it was crazy because like when he committed, I remember we started looking at film of him, and it was like you just noticed off the jump, like off the rip. It was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Right? Like, who is this kid? And so it's only translated even better seeing him in person, and over the last couple of years, he's gotten even better. And I'm happy for him, man. Happy that he's chasing his dreams.
Absolutely. I do not have an NFL team.
I'm the same way.
I love to cheer for and watch Memphis guys. So
it's difficult though. I've tried to become a Bears fan because of Anthony Miller. I did
that when Anthony was with the Bears too.
I have a Bears hat. I have a Bears hat upstairs that I've worn once because he got drafted, and I was like, I'm going to wear a Bears hat now. Like, I'm going to be a Bears fan. Never wore it. Tried to be an Eagles fan because Kenny Gainwell and Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
Who else? Never was a Cowboys fan. Mm-hmm. I like Tony, but I couldn't. My liking of Tony Pollard couldn't make me a Cowboys fan. Try to then become a Washington fan for Antonio because I really like Antonio.
Yeah,
it's never stuck. Do you think it'll stick with Chandler? Should I? Well, can me and you become fans?
It depends on where he goes, right?
Yeah. Is there a no-go for you? Like, is there a team that's like, no, I can't do that?
No. I mean,
what if he goes to Minnesota?
Then we hop all in with TJ.
Oh, yeah, TJ.
TJ's already there. Then all three of us are together. We could do that.
We'll do it. We'll become a Minnesota Vikings podcast.
Take a trip up to Minneapolis with TJ. Charlie also mentioning Kobe Minor went into the portal. I mean, not the portal, declared. That's another big loss. TJ had kind of been alluding to the fact that he might have another year. But I'm going to be honest, TJ. I mean, Charlie, after seeing Kobe get torched all night in the Scooter Frisco Bowl by freaking Hudson. I don't know. Maybe he was already half a foot out the door, already thinking about leaving. That's why that happened. But he got absolutely roasted all night.
Yeah. We one of the things, if you listen to the show and when we talk about Penny Hardaway's recruiting, we talk about the handshake line effect. Do you think there's a possibility that there could be a handshake line effect with Ryan Silverfield and Hudson Clement?
I don't think Hudson Clement comes here. I would be shocked if that happened that quickly and a handshake because of one game, but maybe. I just don't think that's happening. I mean, was he even that good? I guess he was their leading receiver, wasn't he? But
I don't know. What did he do? 51 receptions, 740.
I mean, there's a lot of people that have damn good games against us, but didn't do shit the rest of the year. So,
he had 51 receptions. Where would that put him in Tigers?
He led their team in receiving yards at 740.
Yeah,
led them in receptions, and led them in touchdown catches as well. Oh, I guess he was their number one receiver. So he had good nights. I don't know. I just feel like he might go to
a bigger Power 5 school.
Some upper Power 4 school may want him.
Yeah,
but I don't know. You never know. Maybe Ryan did pull off the old penny handshake trick. Yeah,
be interesting. All right, let's do it. Let's do this holiday nog, man. For those who haven't paid attention to the show, who haven't watched the show before, Tigers Untapped. This is a fan show for fans by fans. TJ and Trey are unabashed Tiger fans. Sometimes emotionally immature fans, but most of the time
just emotional and sometimes just immature.
There you go. But at the end of every show, they'll drink a beer and rate and review the.
It's always a local beer.
A local beer, yes. But tonight
with
it's
TJ
extremely
not
local.
Here,
yeah.
My wonderful wife made me a glass of holiday nog. We had the eggnog with the little buffalo trace in there. Kenny, well, first I always rate the can. We got to go with the Christmas glass. Beautiful tree, the ornaments. 'Tis the season to be merry.
I'm rating that a 9.99.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Natalie's
a
cup.
Damn good glass right here for holiday nog. 9.8.
I want your wife to like me. I don't want her to not like me. So I'm rating that a 9.99.
She can't hear you, and she will also likely never see this. So I'll have to pass that message along. The nog itself, very delicious. The shot of buffalo gives it just enough. Will I drink his Blake Hossey's brew if he makes me something special?
With as wild as you've been in the comment section tonight, I would say
I've seen some Blake Hossey brew. I think I'll pass. Thank you, though, Haas. That's a very nice gesture. The holiday nog. It's a 9.8 across the board for the glass and the nog. We're 9.8s.
What was the
Tigs
addition?
Have a 9.8 game on
what
Saturday.
was the addition that you added to the nog? Was it Buffalo Trace?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's good stuff.
I love a good eggnog, man. I love eggnog.
I do too. It is a good holiday nog. Is now what are you go eggnog or you boiled custard guy?
Eggnog, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Just making sure. I don't know. I've messed around with some boiled custard before, but eggnog's the stuff.
Yeah,
especially when it's spiked.
Yep,
Sunday spiked eggnog. All right, hey. For our first live one, I don't think it went too shabby. It wasn't too shabby. We missed fun. TJ, though. We'll have to do it again.
Let's do it again.
We'll do it again. Hey, happy holidays. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Pack the form this week. Come back next week with the cold beer. Shave your hot takes. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports. If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.